Today, I'd like to talk to you guys about the mid-semester or midterm project that I use to substitute um, for a midterm test. And it's called Definitions and Usage. So I'm recording this in the spring of 17 for two different classes, one face-to-face, one online. The online one has purple tabs, and the face-to-face one has, I don't know what that is, some kind of brown leaf pad. And you will find this under Assignments, and then you click on it, and you may have to scroll down. But it lays out that this is basically a two-stage project. And so what we're going to first do is to get a copy of a word, a legal term. You can get dictionary terms, you may find, but I want these to be defined in a legal dictionary. So we're going to use Ballantyne's legal dictionary in LexisNexis Academic. And I give you kind of a I don't know what that is, a breadcrumb trail of how to get there. It's a little bit goofy way to get there. I'm going to walk you through it. But basically, you're going to make a copy of the definition itself, cite it the way I show you, and here's the next part. You must then follow it by a sentence or paragraph that puts the word into action and defines it so that a lay person, that is a person not taking our class, not a lawyer, reading only your paragraph. So a lot of students want to use this as I used it in a sentence. Well, yeah, that gets you 6 out of 10 points, maybe. If it's simply using the word in a sentence will not be sufficient. Okay, it says so plainly right there. So I give you an instance that I wrote, not the best work. It's a challenging phrase, res ipsa loquitur, but it gives you some idea of what you're supposed to do and how that part is to that part is to be completed. All right, so let's walk through it. First thing we've got to do is find our term, okay? And all right, so the first one we have to do, well, where do we find our term? I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. You can use any case that I'm assigned you to read in class or that we make a linchpin of some project, the case you've been assigned for the case presentation, or any word you really feel like you're struggling with in the textbook. This is a way to get you to understand those words a little better. All right, so what I've done is, pick a word. A lot of students send me what are really dictionary words. Lawyers and judges use some pretty high order words, but they're still dictionary words. Expedient is not a legal word, it's a dictionary word. All right. Promissory estoppel, on the other hand, is a legal phrase. All right. Now, there's a couple of cool things that are going on in here, or at least that I think are cool. And what I've done is I've clicked L. I want to go to LexisNexis Academic. So I went into the databases and I clicked LexisNexis Academic. Or I clicked on the L, that brought up LexisNexis. That brought up a menu of L-based words. Now remember, when we went to look up a legal case for our case presentation, we utilized this pull-down menu. Here we've got to do something a little bit different. Up here at the very top, kind of in the middle, there's something called Browse. And we're going to click on Browse and wait for it to load. And then we're going to go down here and look, we've got something called dictionaries. So there's a lot of other stuff here. There's a lot of search here. Law students get to go through all of this, but you guys, like here's a way to find cases on a topic. And the thing you need to do generally in cases on a topic is to limit it by country, by topic, by multiple sources. So if I click on the United States, now it's going to give me this giant area. But if I can click on regions or states, I can actually look at the law in that era. I am not wanting this though, so I'm going to go back to that browse dictionary, browse menu. I'm going to click on dictionaries. And then I'm going to highlight Ballantyne's Law Dictionary, 3rd edition. The others we're not using. There used to be one for Bieber's Law Dictionary. I think Justin had a part-time job doing legal work, but it's gone now, so I can't even make fun of Justin. I don't know why they did that. And I clicked on, let me go back a second. I do that too quickly. Oh, you're not doing this. You're kidding me. Oh, okay. Anyway, it won't let me go backward. But I went up, there was something highlighted in red, and it says select that. All right, now I'm going to take a term that I know is hard to equitable estoppel. I take this term because I know something else that shows up in it. You may have promissory estoppel, which doesn't show up here. And one of the things you do when you type these words in, a lot of times you're going to have to select between a whole bunch of different ones. We typed equitable estoppel. It's here. Some people are fairly casual about, oh, I used equitable estoppel as my search term, but that means I'm going to go look at legal estoppel. No, you're going to get points taken off for not being more careful. You should look at equitable estoppel. And we're going to go in here and find, ooh, there's a definition for equitable estoppel. Cool. So what I want you to do in this project is to highlight from the word term all the way down to the time and date stamp. You can right click or you can use Control-C, and now we're going to take that and place it into a document. We'll just select a blank document, and here we'll hit Control-V. And boom, in this comes. Now, all you need to do is to add quotation marks, and then you're going to add, so this is a little goofy, it's not some and I want you to type in LexisNexis Academic STLCC, because the purpose of citation is to let the reader go exactly where the author was so that the reader can verify what you've got. Here, since we're quoting it, it's only a word, maybe not such a big need for this, but it's possible that somebody from Duke University wants to look at your handiwork. They may have LexisNexis Academic, but they may have a slightly different version of it. So we need to tell them, because it's web-based, here's where I found it. Pardon me. It looks like breakfast is coming back. I found it through St. Louis Community College. Not everybody's going to know what that is worldwide, but they can probably figure it out. And if they throw it into Google, it's probably going to pop up as, oh, do you mean St. Louis Community College? Notice it also has a time and date stamp. This is very important on the web. And I'm going to go back for a second. We're not done yet with our definition, because if we go look at the assignment itself, did I jump? No, I didn't. Good. We go look at the assignment itself, the definition has 2 additional sources in it. Okay, I'm requiring that your definition have 2 sources inside the quote marks. Okay, so let's go back to our document, and we're going to see we only have 1 other source. Now, how do you know when it's a legal source? Almost always it's going to have these numbers followed by letters followed by numbers. Now, the law librarians are going to go after me for giving it that way, but this is a good way to check whether it really has it. We'll do, I'll do another search and show you one that definitely has 2 words. And let me see, how do I always forget how to, we go back and now let's do a new search. Again, oh, this will let me because I don't have, it's giving me advanced options, but I've got to walk back in. It's a little bit of a pain, and look at this each time, selecting Valentine's, and there's your OK, continue, and here I'm going to search negligence because I'm fairly certain that it has a whole bunch of references. Boom, also a good one to look at because we may have a whole bunch of definitions, and we do. Original, simple, well, I just searched negligence, per se negligent. I'm not sure. Maybe this wasn't such a good one. Let's just try negligent and see. Or quality of being, so it doesn't have any. Oh, it had a whole bunch of. Yeah, this is not helping me. All right, this one is gross negligence. Oh, this is finding every time the word negligence pops up. Okay. Okay, good. It gets me back to that list, and maybe what I'm going to do now is go to comparative negligence. And of course, it doesn't have any cases either. All right, this is not going as well as the professor had hoped. All right, what I'm missing is I don't have 2 citations. Inside the Ballantines, and I'm trying to get to that. Let me see if Res ipsa loquitur has one. You'll know you're in the right space because you're always going to have this advanced options, sources, Ballantines. Or so let's try Res ipsa loquitur and see if it has any cases in it. Oh, that's lovely. Okay. Can I get back to it? Oh, that's incredible. It's like, didn't you rehearse this, Professor? Well, I don't. Oh, okay, I misspelled it. That's what it is, loquitur, and I didn't know that. So if we click on, oh, so I misspelled this for years. The thing itself speaks, okay? The thing speaks for itself. As I'm doing this, now look, I've got that thing where I've got 38 am-jurors first, and then I have a couple of cases. And the cases are a little easier to spot because they're like your case presentation case. So this one, I have a total of 3 sources inside Ballantines. So let's go back to this again. You must have at least 2. Okay, you must have 2 inside Ballantines. If you do not, you must go find another definition. So let's go find another definition. Well, this is how we do it. Equitable And so I've done this. Obviously, I've looked at equitable estoppel a lot of other times. One of the things I like to utilize doesn't always show up first. Is it not going to show up today? I like this Law Cornell. Not really the best source necessarily for definitions, but a great source in the legal research project. That if you can get out to this website, you're not necessarily, you're going to get just some great search tools here that are phenomenal. And then we can click on equitable estoppel. They get it from Nolo's Plain English Law Dictionary. They've decided, it's a lot easier to just work with that group. And now here we have a Nolo's Plain English Law Dictionary, and we can do essentially the same thing. We can grab it, copy it, bring it into our document, and here, because we've got some formatting issues. One of the things you probably need to do is click below the copied section, and now we can again bring in Control V. I don't care about the format, but I do want to see you bring this in and make quotation marks. And then this is probably not proper web citation, but I always think it's best for us to copy the web address. There is a better way to do web citation, but I can just copy that in, and boom, I've got it. Now what I'm missing in any web citation is time and date stamp, but here I've just got 31 Jan, and nobody writes it this way, so to me that's sufficient. Okay, now what I need to do below this is my definition, and then you start writing a set of facts that essentially will explain the doctrine of estoppel. Okay, and this was we can also see equitable estoppel. So if I were to control click, I could go to equitable estoppel, and it says see estoppel. Anyway, I hope this explains this well enough. The other thing that I want to see everybody doing is that each word goes on a new page. All right? So what your job is, find a word or find a phrase, get a definition out of it with Ballantyne's legal dictionary, check to see inside Ballantyne's whether or not there are two sources buried inside of it, either cases or those 38 Amjur 20 section 24 blah blah blahs, and that's in counted there. So we're basically finding three sources: Ballantyne's and then the two inside of it. Any above that make a difference. If you've only got Ballantyne's and one other source, you need another source, and you should go out to one of those legal dictionaries that we found on a Google search. You don't have to use Nolo. It's not necessarily the best one. I really like the Law Institute as a search tool. If I'm trying to, it's not letting me search. What's going on here? Anyway, maybe I need to search Cornell. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to go back to Cornell. I like I really love this Legal Information Institute. There it is. It showed up for a second, yeah. Legal Information Institute, I think, is a really powerful tool, let me digress for a few seconds. Is it bringing us back? I donate to it frequently. If you want to, you can find lawyers who identify there, and it looks like I need to, but it does a really good job as a primary source on the U.S. Code, Code of Federal Regulations, state law resources that I haven't done much work on. But, if you really want to look at the United States Code bit by bit by bit by bit, and, here's aliens and nationality, very hot topic right now. What's our immigration law? Here it is. These are the actual statutes. And what I love about Legal Information Institute is that it is current up to yesterday, as far as I know. They really do a great job of making sure that anything that is enacted goes right in. And so the day you're looking at it, that's the state of the law today. They're not going to tell you whether there's a change in place in Congress or whether there are regulations out there. Regulations can be a really hard thing to research. It's not the easiest thing I ever found. But anyway, so once you've found the definition, you've cited it, you've put LexisNexis STLCC under it, you've checked, you make sure you've got those three sources, Ballantyne's and at least two inside of it. Then you've got to write your own paragraph. So that's 20 words each. We do this in a two-step fashion, okay? I say our first stage will be at the end of week 6. That varies, frankly, from semester to semester based on where I want to move the syllabus. But you'll send me 2 words. I will grade it. I will show you where you've made any mistakes that I think. I'll send it back to you. You'll send this to me digitally. All right? Let me hold off. Then you can resubmit, and once I'm done grading everything, which takes me about a week, I've got 70, 80 students this semester. It's more than that, I think, but maybe less. I'm not sure. It takes me a little while to get through this. These aren't that simple. It's a slog for me. I'll be blunt with you, but I get through it. You can resubmit, and you're going to submit 5 words total. Okay, so our purpose is we're going to do 2 words as kind of a feedback session, and then 5 words total. If you do your work well, even though you get some deductions on the first part, you can get half of the points you missed back by resubmitting and getting rid of the errors. Okay? And so, a lot of people, for some reason, just ignore my feedback. I can't, I can lead a horse to water all I want, but I cannot make them drink. They just think that, there's no point in reading a professor's feedback. What would he know? I don't get it, but I get a whole bunch of submissions that are essentially the same thing again with all the same mistakes. Well, at least it's a good check for me on consistency. Well, I gave it a 29 last time. Did I give it a 29 this time? No, I gave it a 28, but, that's kind of insignificant. It's, I don't know, so anyway, I don't know what people are thinking, but it's not that hard. You're going to reopen a file. It's going to have my comments in it. This thing has points possible 125, so I gotta double check this against my syllabus. I always have this screwed up. Let me see what I've got in my syllabus. So this one's at least 125. Let's see what the other one is, because I thought I had it at 100, but I've got 2 different syllabi. So where'd that one go? Oh, okay. Anyway, I'll double check this once I hang up here. But basically, all you're going to do is browse my computer and send me the document. The document must be in a Word format, DOC or DOCX extension. I can't really work out of anything else, okay? I want both submissions in an MS Word, right? All caps with your initials, all caps in the file name. So it can be D and U with your initials, all caps. I will send you back a folder that is the same, or file, it's the same deal, but then I'll add an extension _ SGB so that you'll have two files. As you're looking at this, make sure you get it back, okay? It says here you can access the file I send you by double-clicking on the grade number in the grade book, which will reopen the submission window, requiring you to navigate to find the file I've sent back to you, okay? So it should be sitting there. You should be able to get to it. This is kind of an involved project potentially, but I hope you enjoy it. Most people get a lot out of this. It's a detail-oriented project. Be careful, take your time, don't rush. Make sure, maybe show your definition to somebody and see if they understand the words. See if they can explain it back to you just off of what you wrote, not off of that legal definition. That legal definition oftentimes is mumbo jumbo. I need you to unwind the mumbo jumbo. Make it work. Okay? So hopefully this makes sense to you, and thanks for listening. Take care of yourselves. Au revoir.